Imagine driving with your family, expecting it to be just a normal day, and suddenly everything changes in a matter of seconds. One gunshot, a shattered windshield, and the loss of a 7-month-old baby. Hi everyone, my name is Nabila Lahani Azzahara, and in this video I'm going to present a critical analysis of a CNN News article titled 7-month-old baby killed by Israel forces in the occupied West Bank. This presentation is not only about explaining what happened. As advanced reading students, we are expected to go beyond the surface. We need to understand how the text is organized, why it was written, how reliable the information is, and whether the author presents any particular perspective. So, in this video, I will analyze the content of the article, its structure, main ideas, supporting details, and the author's purpose. Then I will answer some critical questions about the text and share my personal response. Finally, I will explain why critical reading is important in our daily lives. So, let's get started. First, let's talk about the content of the article. The article tells the story of a 7-month-old Palestinian baby named Sam Abu Haikal, who was killed after Israel soldier opened fire on his family's car in Hebron, West Bank. According to his family and video footage obtained by the human rights group B'Tselem, the car was slowing down when the shooting happened. However, the Israel military stated that the soldiers believed the car was accelerating toward them. The military later announced that an investigation had been launched. The main idea of the article is the death of Sam Abu Haikal and the questions surrounding what actually happened during the incident. Several details support this main idea. The article explains that Sam's mother, Dania, was also injured by the same bullet that killed her son. It also includes data from B'Tselem showing that Sam was the 13th child killed by Israel forces in the occupied West Bank this year. In addition, the article reports that local residents claim Israel soldiers later confiscated CCTV recordings from nearby businesses. The purpose of the text is to inform readers about this tragic event and present different sides of the story. The article includes statements from the family, information from B'Tselem, and the explanation given by the Israel military. As a news item text, the article follows three main parts. First, the newsworthy event, which is the shooting that led to Sam's death. Second, the background events, which explains the sequence of events, the injuries suffered by family members, and the military investigation. And the third is the sources, which include interviews with the family, statement from the Israeli military, information from B'Tselem, and CNN's own reporting. Now let's move on to the critical reading part. First question is, how reliable is the information in this article? I think the article is fairly reliable because it uses several sources instead of depending on only one side. CNN includes interviews with family members, statements from the Israeli military, and video footage provided by B'Tselem. This helps readers see different perspectives. However, because the investigation is still ongoing and some CCTV footage is unavailable, we still do not know every detail of what happened. And then, second question is, does the article show any bias? The article spends a lot of time describing the suffering of Sam's family. For example, it explains the pain experienced by Sam's mother after losing her child. These details make readers feel sympathy and sadness. Although the article also includes the military's explanation, the emotional descriptions may influence how readers see the event. Therefore, we should separate emotions from facts and evaluate the evidence carefully. The third question is, how effective is the article in discussing accountability? I think the article is effective because it does not simply make accusations. Instead, it presents eyewitness accounts, video evidence, and information about the ongoing investigation. These details encourage readers to think about issues of responsibility and transparency. However, because the investigation is still ongoing, we cannot make final conclusions yet. Okay, next, for my personal response. Personally, I found this article very heartbreaking. It is difficult to read about the death of 7-month-old baby and the pain experienced by his family without feeling emotional. At the same time, this article made me realize how important information and evidence are. In conflict like this, different sides may have different explanations, and media reports can influence how people understand what happened. As an advanced reading student, I learned that reading critically means more than understanding vocabulary or finding the main idea. It means asking questions, checking evidence, recognizing different perspectives, and thinking carefully before accepting information. In today's world, where information spreads quickly through news and social media, critical reading is a skill that everyone needs. To conclude, this article tells us about a tragic event involving the death of Sam Abu Haikal, but it also shows how important it is to think critically when reading the news. Critical reading helps us evaluate information, recognize different perspectives, and avoid accepting everything we read without questioning it. As readers, our job is not only to understand what a text says, but also to ask why it says it, how it says it, and whether the evidence supports it. Thank you for watching my video, and remember, don't just read the words, read between the lines.